Hola y bienvenidos a 100 de cine. Esta es la toma 0.52 y de nuevo con una de las películas que va consiguiendo premios y haciendo camino hacia los Oscar. La última toma fue Nine y ahora Up in the Air, la película que protagoniza George Clooney, pero que no nos ha visitado.
You satisfied with Maestro?
Yeah, I am.
A little stingy with their miles. I like Hertz.
Hertz doesn't guarantee navigation.
It's funny, you don't seem like a girl who needs directions.
I hate asking for directions. That's why I get a nav.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Alex.
Oh, Maplewood card. How dare you bring that into this palace?
Hilton offers equal value and better food, but the Maplewood gives out warm cookies at check-in.
What they got to do with the cookies, do they?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for simulated hospitality.
Yeah, there's an industry term for that. It's a mixture of faux and homey. Foamy.
Oh, my God. I wasn't sure if these actually existed. This is the American Airlines...
It's a concierge key, yeah.
I put up pretty pedestrian numbers, like 60,000 a year domestic.
It's not bad.
You don't patronize me. What's your total?
That's a personal question.
Oh, please.
Well, we hardly know each
Oh,
other.
come on. Impress me. I bet it's huge.
You have no idea.
Sí que tenemos las declaraciones del director y guionista Jason Reitman y de las dos chicas, Vera Farmiga y Anna Kendricks, esa jovencita que destaca en la serie Crepúsculo.
Up in the Air follows Ryan Bingham, who's played by George Clooney. He's a guy who fires people for a living, but is passionate about air miles. That's his real thing. He collects miles and lives his entire life on the road, living hotel to hotel, airport to airport, plane to plane. He lives his entire life in flux, and that, you know, is his kind of core philosophy, that life would be better lived alone and with nothing. And then this philosophy is challenged by two women played by Anna Kendrick and Vera Farmiga.
Up in the Air is about a traveling businessman played by George Clooney who travels around the country firing people for a living. And my character comes in and wants to change the way that their company does business so that no one flies anymore. And so we don't get along very well at first because he's sort of found a very suitable way of life for himself, being completely isolated. And I would sort of force him to have you know, human interaction for the first time in a long time.
The book was really about a man who wanted to live alone on the road, in flux, airport to airport, hotel to hotel. And I really liked that. I liked its core ideas, but I wanted to kind of inject my own kind of personal plot into it so that I could begin to ask my own questions of the character.
Hungry much?
Our business expense allots $40 each for dinner. I plan on grabbing as many miles as I can.
Okay. You gotta fill me in on the miles thing. What is that about? Are you talking about, like, frequent flyer miles?
You really want to know?
I'm dying to know.
I don't spend a nickel if I can help it, unless it somehow profits my mileage account.
So what are you saving up for? Hawaii? South of France?
It's not like that. The miles are the goal.
That's it? You're saving just to save?
Let's just say that I have a number in mind and I haven't hit it yet.
That's a little abstract. What's the target?
I'd rather not.
Is it a secret target?
It's 10 million miles.
Okay. Isn't 10 million just a number?
Pi's just a number.
Well, we all need a hobby. No, I don't mean to belittle your collection. I get it. It sounds cool.
I'd be the 7th person to do it. More people have walked on the moon.
Did they throw you a parade?
You get lifetime executive status. You get to meet the chief pilot, Maynard Finch.
Wow.
And they put your name on the side of a plane.
Men get such hard-ons from putting their name on stuff. You guys don't grow up. It's like you need to pee on everything. It's terrifying at first, you know, knowing that one of the most famous people in the world is going to work with you every day, or you're going to work with him every day. But he sort of goes out of his way to make people comfortable because, you know, he sort of makes everyone uncomfortable. I think has an incredible skill for making people feel like you've known him forever and it's okay to just be yourself.
Working with George is everything you would imagine it to be. He is charm on 2 feet. He's a very holy presence that way. It's very warm, inviting. Sense of humor is sincerely the most attractive thing about him. So it's very easy to collapse in that and be a willing participant. You know, it's It's a lot of fun.
We shot the scenes where we fire J.K. Simmons and, you know, George fires Zach Galifianakis and Tamala Jones. And actually what they did is they shot the real people, they shot them documentary style. And George and I were not in the room for that, and they edited that in later. And at one point, actually, because they were doing that while we were filming, and I think the people didn't really know that it was for a film. They didn't know that it was George Clooney or, you know, I think that's how they got such genuine performances out of them, that they were just shooting it like it was a documentary. And and at one point I was sort of thinking like, oh, should I ask to sit in on some of this so I kind of get an idea? It was my sort of, you know, method acting moment. And then I sort of realized how inappropriate it would be for me to use people's real life experiences as my kind of actory research. So I was just sort of surprised and interested to see how it edited together. I think, you know, obviously I think it edited together quite beautifully if you thought we were actually in the room.
You know, when I first started writing the screenplay, the world was a different place. We were at the tail end of an economic boom, and I was writing a corporate satire, much like Thank You for Smoking. But once we got closer to shooting, I realized, you know, we were in the midst of a recession, and I could not satirize this idea anymore. I wanted to pay tribute to the people who were losing their jobs and treat it as authentically as possible. So while shooting in St. Louis and Detroit, I came up with the idea to bring in real people who had lost their jobs, to talk honestly about what it's like to be searching for purpose in the middle of your life, and also express how you actually react when you lose your job. You know, I've never saw myself as a comedy director or drama director. I always thought that drama and comedy are techniques that allow you to make a more complicated film. So the films that I aspire to make are the kind of films I love. Films that use comedy, drama, danger, romance, just to tell a story.
Trabajo para una empresa que alquila mis servicios a unos cobardes que no se atreven a echar a sus propios empleados.
¿Tú quién eres?
Y con razón, la gente se vuelve loca cuando la despiden.
Esto es muy sexy. A los dos nos pone ser VIPs de la aerolínea.
Qué buena idea lo del toallero.
El armario es más excitante.
If I had 10 million air miles, what I would do? You know, the truth is, you don't collect the miles to do anything with them. You collect them to collect them. So if I had 10 million air miles, I guess my proudest achievement would be having them and pointing it out to other people.
I would give it to my parents to travel, see the world. They haven't traveled.
I'd probably go home a lot more. I like barely get home. I travel all the time, and you know, the idea of making a trip from Los Angeles to Portland, Maine, is sort of, you know, exhausting. So I would get home more.
Y antes de irnos, noticia de última hora que llega directamente a la BlackBerry. La Academia de Hollywood ha dado a conocer la lista de 9 películas que están preseleccionadas para que el 2 de febrero 5 sean nominadas. ¿En qué categoría? Película extranjera de habla no inglesa. Y no está Fernando Trueba con El baile de la victoria. Sí que está La Argentina, El secreto de tus ojos, de Juan José Campanella. También están Australia, Bulgaria, Francia con El Profeta, Alemania con La cinta blanca, la cinta que acaba de estrenarse en España, Israel, Kazajistán, Alemania y el Perú con la película de Claudia Llosa, La teta asustada.
Ella pues estuvo en el pueblo en la época muy dura. Con el terrorismo nació Fausta y su madre le transmitió el miedo por la leche. Tu mamá está muerta, muerta está.
Están buscando a alguien para cuidar la casa de arriba. Podrías ir, sacarte la plata y llevar a tu madre al pueblo como quieres.
Si tú me cantas, yo te regalo una pepita.
Cerramos aquí y la próxima ya es la toma normal con el resto de los estrenos de este fin de semana. ¡Hasta la próxima toma!